you roll in, let's say this is the ankle lock, right? And that person's rotating. And then you have to use this elbow to help you rotate. That's where you're going to lose them. Right? Come real quick. I'm pinching this ankle, okay? He spins this way, and then I do this to escape, to rotate over. Right now I'm loose, right? I'm loose around that ankle. And that's where I'm going to things are going to fall apart. So we go back this way. This has to stay pinched, which means as we go over, that can't be used to generate leverage. I can't flare my elbow to the mat to move my hips, right? Now, I mean, I shouldn't say can't. You can do what you can in the situation, but you're gonna have a more secure ankle lock if at no point your elbow takes pressure off their ankle, right? So that's not what you're gonna work on, is being able to rotate without having to use your elbows to move yourself. Now, in the situation where you're going this direction, you can use your forearm, right? So instead of having to roll over my leg, we go this way. If they try to rotate that way, I can use my forearm to do that, and it's easier, right? Because then this can stay pinched, this arm moves me over, right? So if you're having to roll over the ankle lock, you don't get to use your forearm to lift yourself up. If he's rolling away from the ankle lock, you get to use your forearm. Does that make sense? All right. So let's start off with assuming he's rolling away from the ankle lock. So let's say I was here, and he rotated this way. So I'll go forearm, forehead. And we're going to stop right here. All right. So look at the shape I'm in. Right now you'll see that his knee is in front of my knees, and my hip is in front of his knee. If we end up like this, where my knees and his knee and my hips are all in the same plane, you're not going to generate power for an ankle lock because your hips can't drop. So I can't ankle lock him here. I have to have his knee in front of my knees and my hips in front of his knee. Like I'm telescoping the thing out. So if we're here, I kind of go here, telescope the thing out. Now from here, balancing on my forehead, making all those adjustments, shoulder back, elbow here, then drop my hips away. If you need to do this one-handed, you can. But you need to be able to either balance on your forehead or do the ankle lock with one arm, right? What I don't want to do is this. You rotate over, and I collapse to my face. This is where things are going to fall apart on your ankle lock. And this is going to be more natural than tripod. You're going to try this way, but it's not going to work. On your forehead, in the tripod shape. Balancing, adjusting, all the same adjustments. Hips in, or hips in. Make sense? Once you build the strength in your neck to do this confidently, it's going to be much more consistent in the other ankle lock. Because you're putting a guy in a situation where he's on his hands and he can't defend well. Versus here where he has more options to start peeling and fighting. If I can get him to his hands, I always rather have him on his hands. Because it can happen from the beginning of the drill. Like, remember, stand up real quick. Like when we were doing this. If we were here and I stretched him out and went to his hands, right, I would go right over to that position, adjust and finish there. I wouldn't want him anywhere else. Right? If I ever get him on his hands, I want to do it that way. Stand up. Let's say he fell over that way. So when I stretched him out and went to his hands, there. So I'm going to come here, my forearm, forehead. Now, right now, let's say that my knee and his knees are all in one line. I have to grab the mat, pull his knee forward, pull my hips forward. Adjust, hand up, shoulder back, elbow to my rib cage. Now I'm driving my hips forward here. If I need to be on my forearm, do it forward here. You're going to sometimes think that you want to drop your hips by sliding your legs wide. That will not generate power. Your knees stay still. You extend to make them tap. You get further away. What's that?
Is it important to keep your leg extended over his leg, like this part?
If he rotates through, it's not that you can't finish it, but it will be more work. So if we're here and we get to here and he spins all the way through, like I can stomp on his hip and still finish here there, but obviously his ability to compress on me gets way better once we get to here. Like yeah, that gets better. So I could have stopped that if I had, rotate back. I could have stopped that if I had my foot on him. Is that what you're talking about?
Yes, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I mean, if he gets through, go ahead. I still can probably get a tap out of him, but it's more work. I would have been way better for me to go back. If you tried to spin through and I was able to freeze him here. My life would have been better. Otherwise, I'm dealing with someone who has hands on me. where before his hands are doing nothing on the mat over here? That's a good question.
You still try and finish that, or you would just switch to heel hook?
I would definitely try to finish the ankle lock.
Okay.
Yeah. I think I'm pretty close to losing him in that point. His knee's actually facing the mat, it's not facing up.
Okay.
So I'll show you what I mean. We're here, he goes over. His knee's facing down. He steps over, his knee's still facing down. You see that? I'm much better off extending than pulling my arm out at this point when he's all up on top of me like that.
All right.
Like I need to get distance. And we'll talk about that tomorrow a lot, because I consider that ankle lock a top position ankle lock versus bottom position ankle lock anyways. So we'll talk about that tripod ankle lock tomorrow. Right now I want to focus on this one where you stretch them out and put them on their hands. You can finish the half Boston crab. A lot of you guys are using it because your opponent is not straightening their leg, so it seems easier to do, right? But real quick. So if I go in here, I put him on his hands, right? And he relaxes, then this is actually a really easy finish, right? But if he slams his leg straight, here, go ahead, that's really hard to do, right? To be able to just push back in there. That's not the most efficient way to do it. If he's trying to fight me the whole time stiffening his leg, I'm going to extend his leg, pulling his leg, stretching it out to make it bend, right? So I'm around here, he's trying to straighten his leg. I'm gonna grab the mat and pull forward to generate the power, not push back into him, because I'll be fighting his leg strength, okay?